So, Aztecrosses just dropped a huge, amazing video on just how bad microtransactions have got in Destiny. If you haven't seen that already, it's an amazing video. You should definitely go watch it after this, but link in description too if you want to see that. But I wanted to talk a little bit more on state of the game rather than just microtransactions, but I wanted to mention Aztecrosses' video because it was kind of inspiration for this, on top of also my points will probably mingle a lot with his, or at least a little bit. So yeah, let's get right into it. Bungie. I don't know what has happened in like the past couple years with you guys and making new content, but the new stuff just kind of sucks. I love the seasonal rotations and all that. Like, it's really nice to have a live service game like this and be able to want to play it most of the time of the year, but just it is consistently one in every 4 or 6 seasons that just are not good. They just kind of suck, and it sucks to have that because I know it can be better. Granted, I think the underlying problem to the seasons being bad is kind of more about time and how much work they can put into them rather than just the Bungie being lazy. I do think there is a part of that, considering that they are just artificially increasing profits with all the microtransactions, all the nickel and diming, the suckling of everyone's wallets to just try and draw more money out of the player base. And at least now people are getting fed up with it. All the a lot of players are just like, guys, I don't want to play Destiny anymore. A lot of the biggest thing too you can tell is a lot of streamers are like, guys, I'm just burnt out of Destiny. There's the new stuff is yeah, it's there, but it's just not really that interesting. It's just going through more of the motions. But anyways, back to the underlying cause. If you think about it this way, looking at some other games like Apex, COD, Fortnite, everyone has 3-month seasons, 3 months long. So does Destiny, which would be fine if Destiny was their style of games, where the core gameplay loop is, or the core gameplay even is just go and play the one game mode they have, and then you just do that over and over, and then all the season pass stuff are cosmetic. Any in-game purchases are cosmetic. Obviously there's kind of loot boxes and some more scummy things in there, but Destiny, being a live service, having to put out actually new stuff for people to do each season, just does not work for them. They really need to take a route, just to pull back, go back to once yearly DLC, and go back to making really good, really big DLC, spending time on them so that people, when they come back and they're like, oh, this DLC is about to come out, I really want to play this, it draws in a lot more of the player base than just having the seasons does. And then you can also push some microtransactions, and you'll probably get more people to buy them. It baffles me that they have not really made a quality piece like Forsaken, people talking about it like Forsaken since Forsaken. And they've had Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, Witch Queen was close, but didn't really make it there. And I feel like that's also, you can attribute that to deadlines, which I'll go on to in a bit. But the other route that Bungie could take is just hire more people. I can't say fully on this. Obviously, I'm not a professional on this stuff, but if you have more devs, if you have more people to work on the game and balancing the game and making new stuff, you'll be able to make it faster, probably. There's probably a certain point where that does tip out. But you'll be able to make better content at the same rate, and people will enjoy that and play your game more. You know what really speaks to the fact that Bungie just does not have enough people working on their game right now? Is the PvP scene. They've abandoned it. I've seen multiple tweets and multiple videos, especially I'm going to show the one from Grenader Jake, just cheating is still rampant in there. It is no updates, no real, not a huge amount of balancing. It just sucks to play PvP and be a PvP creator, especially because they just don't get anything. There's nothing new. You just get a trials weapon every season, and that's it. On top of which, too, speaking about cheating, Bungie, it just feels back when they sued that one company for their cheating. It was like, wow, Bungie really cares about their player base. No other game company has done this before. This is really cool. And now it just feels like, oh wow, Bungie really just wanted the players off their back. They still, BattleEye, I don't know how good it is, but it still seems like cheating is really bad. People don't get banned when they're blatantly cheating, obviously. And just, I don't know, it just feels like that was more of a PR stunt rather than them actually caring about the player base. I would love to see them go either route just to make it a more worthwhile experience, especially considering all of the old content kind of just gets pushed to the side and put behind a paywall, or free-to-play players just to see it and go, oh, well, for the full experience I have to shell out $200, which hurts. there's not too many people that like now are gonna see Destiny, and especially with how like a lot of creators in Destiny are kind of being like, guys, it's just really not that good right now. People, not a lot of the free-to-play people trying it out are gonna shell out 120, 200 bucks to just play the rest of the game. It doesn't work like that anymore. Now, deadlines. Obviously, this is more of a problem that I have with DLC for Bungie. I really, really, really wish for DLC they would stop having deadlines and stop having like, or at least having hardcore deadlines, like a yearly deadline. Witch Queen was sick, but the way Lightfall came out, it is very obvious that Strand, maybe not very obvious, but Strand was most likely a part of Witch Queen, especially considering how Beyond Light had a darkness before that, and how Strand is used in Lightfall just does not make that much sense to me. It would have made so much more sense in Witch Queen with all of the motives and themes going on. This is a problem with a lot of more recent games, is they're going for yearly hardcore deadlines just to get that payroll going for like the however many of their dedicated fans will guaranteed buy the game. However, I do believe, I'm not 100% on this, but I do believe people are starting to kind of realize, hey, if we keep letting these developers and like game developers get away with producing garbage games on a deadline, it's not good. I would equate this to, let's say, like something like Elden Ring. Elden Ring came out and was amazing. Barely any bugs, barely any game-breaking bugs on top of that. And even with all that, the game-breaking bugs, which of the little there were very hard to do. Like, it wasn't a commonplace thing. It is unbelievable. Like, and then you take it like a look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk even delayed it and still got caught up in a deadline, released their game full of bugs, terribly optimized, all sorts of that stuff, and it killed the game. It nuked it. Elden Ring stole is like a loose word, stole so many players from games, including a game like Destiny 2, because it was good, polished. Obviously, they did have the FromSoft name, so that doesn't help, or that doesn't hurt. It took so many players for like a solid month or two. People played that game because it was more fun, it was enjoyable. You weren't just getting obviously you weren't getting frustrated at it, or not in-game reason. You weren't getting frustrated, oh, I got lagged out, I got a bug. One last thing I wanted to touch on too is just Bungie obviously announced their new game Marathon and how they're working on that. So to be fair, even though they could have, which I don't know 100%, I haven't looked in on this a lot, which I need to start doing that in the future if I keep doing these kind of videos, but Marathon and Destiny is putting a strain on their team, obviously. Like, they haven't really hired a huge amount of other people, but they're putting a lot of effort into Marathon. But people might be saying, oh, well, they're just trying to get more money out of Destiny 2 to fund Marathon. Bungie had that $3.6 billion deal with Sony, and a lot of creative freedom with it too. There should be no reason for them, especially considering the games they've made in the past too, like, there should be no reason for them to be struggling for funds on like developing Marathon. There is no reason. They should realistically make at this point make a Destiny 2 team, or a Marathon or a Marathon team, and a Marathon team. Make the Destiny 2 team smaller, but have them be dedicated solely to Destiny 2, updating it, getting it new content until they're finished with it, and then do that. Maybe Bungie already has 2 teams, but clearly they either do not have enough people on the Destiny side, or just they need to get more people in there, because Destiny 2 is being left in the dust, and in all honesty, they could probably get more Marathon players if they can get more people into Destiny 2 right before they end it, and then say, hey, we've got Marathon 2, if you really like this, we can go play Marathon 2. At this point, Bungie really just needs to kind of quit it with Destiny and just die and let die. Like, I know it sucks to hear if you can take anything away from this video. Bungie really needs to either invest and let Destiny live and be a good game for its last leg, which probably would get them more profits than having this weird, like, garbage state of the game right now, or just let it die. Say, guys, it's not going our way, Marathon's taking a while, we're gonna just put Destiny on the sidelines for now, and then we'll put out Lightfall, and that's it. Whew, that was a bit different from what I've usually done. Hopefully it came out the way I wanted it to. Anyways, definitely, if you have not yet, definitely go watch Aztecrosses' video. It really does shine a light on just how bad microtransactions and some of the state of the game has gotten. Link in description for that. Shameless plug, if you want to like and subscribe, that's cool. And also, I'm going to be streaming on Kick, in fact, right now, so link in the description to go check that out. You can follow me on Twitter. I don't really do a lot on there right now just because I get really distracted, and it's really not, it's hard for me to be on top of everything, YouTube, TikToks, things like that sometimes. But yeah, go check that out too. That's about it. I have some other videos if you want to check those out too. They do kind of suck, I will admit, but I'm getting better, I promise. And anyways, I'll see you people in the next one. Later.